1 2 1 2. Help us level the playing field. Sign the parliamentary petition today to fuel the growth and fund the game.
Welcome to the Senol Victorian NPL coverage here at Casey Fields. This is the round 3 makeup round for this clash between Melbourne City FC and Alamein FC. Earlier on in the season, many of these players were away on Young Matilda's duties, so it is now been requested for this Tuesday night clash after the weekend off for the rest of the league. It's been now assembled here at Casey Fields. Alamein FC travel all the way down south to this venue very much a fortress for Melbourne City. It's a very long distance to come. John Kyrgios has his Chargers in 5th place with this game in hand on 13 points, and George Giroux sitting on the 13th, just above bottom with 3 points. They did get their first win of the season against Keilor Park not long ago, so they'll look to add to the tally this evening. Alamein FC have made 2 changes to their starting lineup from their last match, with Olivia Cohen in goals, with Miranda Templeman not on the team sheet at all this week, and Jessica Shilton slotting back into the defence, and Jordan Toms-Wenge goes to the bench. For Melbourne City, they are without Sienna Calvanese after she picked up a concussion in Melbourne City's last home match, and Mary Brown moves to the bench with Jamie Marandola slotting in and Cornelia Loss getting her first start of the season. Both teams will look to pinch 3 points tonight, but it will be a necessity for Melbourne City to pick themselves up and try and get 3 points tonight. They'll need a high-pressing game against this tough Alamein squad. Very much consistent throughout the Senol NPLW here in Victoria, this starting lineup. Very few changes are made for John Kyrgios week in, week out. You see the Lowrys move to the bench as Biggs gets the balls rolling for Melbourne City, cleared by Bugias. Biggs with another big clearance for Melbourne City, looking to put the pressure on Jugovic. She's got time and space. She looks to thread it through to Capitanio, but Shadara able to pick it up for Alamein. High press from Melbourne City, turns the ball over. Great energetic start here for the young side. An under-23 side for Melbourne City, playing against a senior squad of Alamein. Loss getting on the ball early for Melbourne City. Jugovic just clipped from behind there by Runnels. Biggs will look to play. Loss driving forward. She's asking for options. Capitanio can't turn. Shadara read it well. Runnels. Tyson out to Bugias. Forward pass to Anastasopoulos. Cleared by Duho for Melbourne City. This midfield three of Tyson, Dunstan and Runnels have been very good for Alamein this season. They've been able to win a lot of possession through that middle of the park and thwart any advances from opposition teams. As we see Alamein now trying to use the left flank, trying to get the ball past. Quick throw over the top. See Samolaski driving, cuts the ball across. Loss, couldn't quite handle it on the first one, but clears the danger, finds a teammate. Racco through the middle. Biggs gets a touch. Great 1-2 combination play by Melbourne City to get out of the danger. Melbourne City, a lot of these passes through the centre just have to be that little bit more pinpoint accurate due to the capabilities of this Alamein midfield. Kirkpick putting enough pressure on Bugias to force it out for a throw-in. Clearance ricochets off Anastasopoulos. Chelsea Biggs with the captain's arm bag this evening. She did travel away with the A-League team on the weekend. Numerous players are out with young Matilda's duties for the A-League side. So a renewed sense of motivation for a lot of these young players. Racco with the forward pass. Well read by Olivia Cowan. Lasky. Inside forward pass. Dustin giving chase. Racco for Melbourne City trying to close the danger. Ball over the top, the header. Comfortable for Gore Birchmore in the Melbourne City goals. Duho can't quite keep possession. Gore Birchmore picks it up for Melbourne City. Releases it quickly. Forward run by Capitanio. Leokopoulos giving chase. Tight passing by Leokopoulos. Gets it out to Bagias. She's time and space now to drive forward. She tries to thread it through for the run of Horton. Leokopoulos to go long. Gore Birchmore off her line. Sweeping behind the defence. Runnels gives chase. Strikes. Looked like it was going to be on target, but great defensive block by Saris in the back line. Will give Alamein their first corner of the game. Dustin to take for Alamein. Out swinging corner. Delivers. Connection into the box, but it's blocked. Biggs. Players down in the area. It's a bit of a head clash. Looks to be Capitanio just taking her time, trying to get back up, but it was a heavy clash in the 6-yard box as the ball came through.
CC, when they've got the ball, read the cues if they're going to go long so you can drop your line.
Ball will restart with a drop ball from referee. They'll look to play. Biggs. Melbourne City clearing. Biggs picking up. Looking to drive forward. She can't quite get it through. To Marandola on the right-hand side for Melbourne City as Leokopoulos clears for Alamein. Lasky mistimes the bounce. Kirkby, Bagias wins the battle. Alamein captain. Great touch from Runnels. Pulls it out to Anastasiopoulos, and then the through ball can't quite pick up the run of Horton through the centre for Alamein. Loss into Biggs. Racco. Through pass to Marandola. Numbers in the box. Capitanio can get there first. And just the touch eludes the second moment that Capitanio needed to put it into the back of the net. The rushing forward of Cowan. She took a great touch to meet it, but just couldn't quite get that second touch to follow through and put it in the back of the net. Great ball in from Marandola. Lasky. Tyson. Shilton just getting touches under her belt since returning from injury. Lamage playing it right back this evening. She's usually in a centre-back position. They'll be looking for the offside flag to go up here, but unfortunately for Melbourne City, no flag is raised. Tough challenge on Racco is called back. No advantage given. Saris into Biggs. Saris looking for options forward, but she has to go all the way back to Gore Birchmore. Loss driving forward. Capitanio, first touch to Jugovic. Through ball to Kirkby. Offside flag. Great combination play from Melbourne City. In that instance, this time, the offside flag just... And a great line by Alamein FC, just holding off that Melbourne City attack. Shadara goes long. Lamage with the clearance only as far as Runnels. Lasky with the touch and the strike. Very neat ability to get a touch and strike. But it just glances past the goal. Gore Birchmore covered low at her left post. Jugovic with the turn. Duho, Kirkby into Jugovic. She'll get there first. Look for a forward run. Mirandula can't quite get there in front of Cowan. Lukopoulos forward. Dustin with the touch. Lasky with the forward run. She'll beat Lamage for pace here and she'll glide into the 18-yard box. Gore Birchmore steps off her line and puts enough pressure on Lasky for it to be glassed by that front post. The pace of Lasky there, just tough for Lamage to handle. The American driving forward. Biggs out to Duho. Duho gets a glancing foot off Anastasopoulos. Duho forward to Kirkby. Runnels with the magic touch to Tyson. Horton tries to clear. Saris just walking gingerly after that challenge. Racco. Jugovic doing the hard yards in defence for Melbourne City. And the strike from Anastasopoulos. And this time, Gore Birchmore needed to put that one round the post. So first strike with anger from Alamein. Be the second corner for the away team. Outswinger by Dustin. Tightly marked through the centre of the box there. Cleared by Racco. Only as far as Bruges. Duho with the tracking. She'll get there ahead. She'll look to play forward, but a timed challenge by Dustin. Jugovic holding up the play. Switches out through Saris. Saris can drive. Ball forward. Cleared. by Shilton. Melbourne City now finding Jugovic. Forward run, just unable to find the through ball. But there's a confidence about this Melbourne City FC team that has been lacking in recent weeks, and they can keep themselves in the game for longer and longer as this Senol season moves through. Clip of the heels there on Biggs was Horton. Saris picking up for Melbourne City. She'll play short to Biggs. Biggs with the switch out to Marandola. Beautiful pass. Marandola gets a touch round but can't quite keep it in before the end line. Leakopoulos to take for Alamein. She drives it long. Lamage clears for Melbourne City. Jugovic with time and space. Tyson giving chase through the centre for Alamein. Kirkby drifts inside. Lovely piece of footwork from Kirkby. She lost her defender but couldn't quite put any power through the shot. Pressure from Kirkby, now from Jugovic. Pressure from Melbourne City wins them possession high up the park. Can they capitalise on this pressure? Capitanio inside, drops it into Jugovic. Duho loses possession through Anastasiopoulos. Bujas goes long. Loss. Too much on the touch. Runnels. Touches inside. Switches out to Shilton. Shilton trying to find Lasky, but Lamage doing well to read that passage of play. Dustin trying to get Leakopoulos to swing it out onto the right, but she goes forward instead. Mirandola gets it back to Saris. Lamage. She's drifted into the centre of defence, Lamage. Loss. She faces forward. Superb pass to Jugovic. Duho. Kirkby. Rolls inside. Loss. Inside to Jugovic. Saris. Driving. Is lost. Capitanio can't quite catch the bounce on that one. Jugovic continues to put pressure on Runnels. It'll bounce back to Alamein. They'll start again through Shadara. Out to Leakopoulos. Shilton. Lamage. Alamein throw. Shilton. Back to Leakopoulos. Ball bouncing here. Capitanio giving chase. Melbourne City able to step the line up now. As Cowan goes out to Shadara. Kirkby. Giving chase here is Melbourne City, trying to put this high pressure onto an Alamein side that is bursting with confidence. Ella Duho, Ella Kirkby driving through both Ellas on this left-hand side for Melbourne City. Loss. Cecilia Loss into Biggs. Racco. Forward pass. Shilton, well read for Alamein. Pressure for Biggs. Dustin, Tyson pulls it out for Alamein. They'll go wide to Lasky. Lasky comes inside, uses her pace to get round Lamage. Saris trying to stop the run of Lasky here, but the delayed tactics of Melbourne City doing well so they can get numbers behind the ball. They've slowed them down for this moment. Jugovic, pressure on Shadara, wins Melbourne City the throw. Jugovic gets a toe out to Saris. Duho, she can go forward. She's got time and space. You can move forward. Kirkby goes forward this time through Biggs. She'll be able to keep it in. She's got numbers in the box. She can get her head up. She can get past Shadara. Kirkby with the cross. Capitanio with the header. But can't get quite enough power to put it either side of Cowan in the goal for Alamein. Shadara. Long. Saris. Putting the pressure on Horton. Just enough. Biggs. Out to Lamage. She can face forward. Mirandola. Into Racco. Well won by Dustin for Alamein. Saris using Gore Birchmore to try and draw out this Alamein team. Loss.
Dali, walk us up. CC higher than the keeper. Show Maya.
Loss.
Show.
Travelling. Capitanio just slips at the wrong moment, but she's able to gather her feet. Jugovic with the ball forward for Kirkby. Cowan off her line. Jugovic just clipped by Shadara. It's a swap in the midfield for Alamein. Horton dropping into that midfield. Runners picking up that striker role. Kirkby going long. Loss, I should say, going long. Shadara with the clearance. Saris able to gather comfortably. She'll be able to turn, face forward, try and find a forward pass. Opening sequence of this first half just played at a frenetic pace with both teams high pressing.
Use the keeper again. Use the keeper again.
Racco into Duho. Jugovic clipped again by Bugies. Forward pass. Tried to be taken by Melbourne City nice and quickly, but referee called them back. Loss looking to play short. Jugovic turns. Plays out wide to Kirkby. Duho. Biggs. One by Horton. Forward to Runnels. She'll switch out to Lasky. Alamein charging forward with numerous people wanting the ball. Lasky caught by Jugovic. The follow through by Lasky, not called. Foul on Dustin in the middle of the park for Alamein. Will slow things down a little bit. Dustin. Well defended by Lamage. Ball swung in, top of the box. Runnels, glancing header. Anastasopoulos can't quite get there ahead of Gore Birchmore. Duho looking for the run of Kirkby, but hadn't quite settled into place. Jugovic turns out of the tackle by Tyson. She'll switch out to Racco. Racco will come back, similar fashion, through Biggs. She'll get the ball to Kirkby. Kirkby driving. She can enter the box. Ball into the box. No one at the back post. Alamein throw. Shilton. Racco gets the touch. Cleared by Mirandala. Capitanio. Mirandala into the box. Melbourne City will squeeze here. Horton picks it up for Alamein. Bagias with the header. Can't maintain clean possession though, Alamein. Bagias. Leokopoulos into Dustin. Racco nearly picking it up for Melbourne City. The pressure was enough for Biggs to help. Racco with the strike. She perhaps had a little bit more time than she thought. She had time and space to drive forward that little bit further. Isabella Racco. Long ball from Shadara. Runnels. Turns out 3 players all around Runnels and she escapes the danger as she slots it back to Shadara. She'll go out through Leokopoulos. Out on the left-hand side through Lasky. Dustin. Melbourne City closing the gaps for Alamein through that centre of the park. Runnels will be onside here. Strike on, back post. Whiskers away from Horton, getting a touch onto it.
Girls, we've got to prevent that by shuffling across quicker. Chelsea, you initiate.
Call Birchmore.
Nothing easy here, close to your opponent. Gotta get out.
Shadara.
Get out there quicker. Get out there
Back to
quicker.
Bagias. Bagias. Ball bouncing. Call Birchmore waited for it to bounce, and then she has to tip it over the bar.
Get goal side, body shape. Make sure we attack it.
Dustin corner, in swinger this time. The bend taking it over the crossbar for Alamein.
Let's go, keep the tempo high. Let's go, Darlie, let's play. Let's go, play. LEK, go feet.
Loss for Melbourne City. Forward to Capitanio. She drops it into Biggs. Biggs forward to Mirandola. Mirandola trying to give chase. She'll keep it in. Great touch ahead of Shilton. Shilton gathers her feet and turns it into meaningful possession for Alamein. It'll be an Alamein throw. It'll be called back as the throw was not taken in the right position. Shilton will have another go at it. Strong work by Mirandola. Lasky for Alamein, putting enough pressure on. And it will be a Melbourne City throw though. Lamage into Capitanio. Capitanio drifts inside. She tries to give it a strike with the left foot, but couldn't get enough purchase on it. Leokopoulos has to go long. Pressure from Saris. Great body work there by Kira Saris. Kirk Horton, frustrated by the initial bump, makes an illegal challenge on loss. Frustration from Alamein showing. Saris into Jugovic. Jugovic trying to get the touch. Well-timed challenge by Runnels. Tyson out to Lasky. Lasky can't quite get it back to Horton through the centre. Loss read the play well for Melbourne City.
Let's go, play, tempo.
Challenge on Kirkby deemed illegal. We're going through touches Melbourne City through that centre of the park. Movement has been improved week on, week out. The run from Anastasopoulos. Duho trying to give chase. Duho giving enough pressure onto the ball to force Anastasopoulos to force it wide. Saris forward to Racco. Saris has to clear the danger for the touch line. Long throw from Shilton, cleared by Lamage. She'll get another shot at it. Have to wait for that second ball to be thrown off the pitch. Runnels, ball bouncing. Biggs Pulls it up, holds it up for Capitanio. She's asked for the foul there with Shadara grabbing her shirt. Saris looking to play quickly. Saris. Forward runs by Capitanio. And this time Ella Kirkby on the right-hand side for Melbourne City. Still just a throw for Melbourne City. Alamein will clear. Ball crosses the line. It'll be a Melbourne City throw. I'll look to set something up here, Melbourne City. Try and get some, at least to make a save from Olivia Cowan in goals for Alamein. Capitanio trying to hold up possession. She'll give away the foul to stop the forward play from Alamein. Shadara. Leokopoulos. Into Horton. Challenge deemed all ball. Isabel Racco still down in back play with Runnels on the strike. Ball falling to Horton. Horton puts it into the back of the net. Fortuitous bounce for Alamein gives Horton their opening goal of the match. All stemmed from that challenge on Isabella Racco. Many of her teammates stopped thinking it was a foul, but play went on and Alamein were able to capitalise on the frozen nature of the Melbourne City defence, but the ball ricocheted right into Horton's path, and it'll open up the scoring tonight with Horton putting it away for Alamein. It's Melbourne City 0, Alamein 1. Duho. Saris trying to put the pressure on Runnels. Runnels allowed to turn though. She'll try to get the ball to Anastasopoulos, but Duho has front position. She'll go back out to Gore Birchmore. Loss. She'll run out of room here, Loss, but she'll go forward. Clearance from Leokopoulos. Returned by Jugovic. Capitanio giving chase for Melbourne City. Errant clearance by Cowan. She does well to clear on the second chance. Burgess forward to Horton. Biggs jumps over one tackle, gets the ball to Racco. Racco into Capitanio. Capitanio can turn, but a great tackle by Shadara at the top of the box for Alamein. Clears the danger for the away team. Saris giving chase, trying to get Shilton to put her head down. Shilton has time to whip a ball in. Runnels on the header. And Gore Birchmore stranded. Couldn't quite get enough of a hand to that one. Shilton making the most of her forward run. She was able to turn back, put it on the right foot, and put it into the centre of the box, and Runnels at full steam put it into the back of the net for Alamein. Runnels getting better every year in the Senol Victoria NPLW. It's Melbourne City 0, Alamein 2.
Come on, girls, let's go again. Come on. Start there, Ma. Bring it, Jess. Come on, ladies, come on.
Biggs. 1-2 with Capitanio. Biggs switches out to Duho. Mirandula keeping possession. Tries to find Duho, but now she's got to track back. Work hard in defence. Anastasopoulos with the forward pass. Gore Birchmore reading the play. Biggs through ball, but Shadara cleaning it up for Alamein. Cowan under enough pressure, puts it out to Kirkby for Melbourne City. Kirkby still on the ball. She glides past Leakopoulos, but well-positioned Cowan in the Alamein goal. Runnels with the flick, gets it to Dustin. Dustin swings it out to Lasky. Melbourne City with the numbers, but it will be an Alamein corner. Certainly wasn't a case of Alamein overpowering Melbourne City, because Melbourne City had their fair chances. They just couldn't quite put any meaningful possession in the front third, but certainly Alamein doing the damage the most. The ball into the box now. Birchmore clears. And this time the ball falls once again to Leakopoulos, but on the follow-up, Gore Birchmore can hang on to it. Duho turns out of the pressure from Bagias. They'll keep the ball here at Melbourne City. 2 goals in quick succession for Alamein. Runnels and Horton doing the damage here on this Tuesday night. Round 3 catch-up fixture. Gore Birchmore. Saris trying to find the feet of Racco, but just misjudged the pass. Ball forward from Shilton, well read by Biggs. Jugovic back to Saris. Jugovic will turn. Forward run by Kirkby. Great pressure by Kirkby. Shilton able to turn out well. Keep possession for Alamein. Cleared by Leakopoulos. Lasky. Just pushed over by Lamage for Melbourne City. It'll be an Alamein free kick on this left-hand side. Bagias. Shadara. Capitanio wins possession for Melbourne City. Mirandula tries to get it back to Capitanio, but the retreating Shilton able to defend the box. Kirkby with the strike. Well over the bar.
Let's go, girls. Keep working. Let's go.
Shadara to take the goal kick. She'll go long. Won by Jugovic. Capitanio. Enough numbers around the ball for Melbourne City to pick up the possession here, but Dustin does well to maintain. Kirkby keeping possession. Saris all the way back to Gore Birchmore. Birchmore to Loss. Loss into Mirandula. Saris trying to clear, gets to Lasky though for Alamein. Forward run by Horton. Gore Birchmore comes out. Well read, well timed challenge, but it will be an offside flag for Alamein. Clearance by Gore Birchmore. Shadara does the same in return for Alamein. Anastasopoulos giving chase now for Alamein. Loss clears for Melbourne City. Brigiers all the way back to Shadara. Dustin. Leukopoulos. This could stay in for Runnels. Runnels with the first time cross. Runners into the box. Well defended by Racco and Gore Birchmore for Melbourne City. 2 minutes of added time here in this second half. Alamein will look to go into the sheds, perhaps another goal up. It's currently 2-0 here for the away team. They're soaking up a few extra seconds here as they decide who to take the corner. With 2 minutes of added time, they'll look to stretch their lead just that little bit further. Lasky is on the ball now for Alamein. Cleared by Loss. Back post. Runners weren't held by Melbourne City, but Gore Birchmore was able to release out to Racco. Capitanio just trying to scan for the defender in Brigiers, and she was managed to round the striker as she was trying to take a touch, but now it will be an Alamein throw. Alamein long. Goal kick for Melbourne City. Lovely touch from Duho. Just meant that Lasky needed to foul in order to stop the forward progression. And that'll be halftime here at Casey Fields, pitch 4, with the home side with 2 goals in quick succession through Horton and Runnels. They'll go into the sheds at this halftime break. 2-0 to the good. And Melbourne City will look to come out into this second half and try and whittle down that lead for the opposition team. And we'll get to you at the other side of this break. We'll look forward to this second half here at Casey Fields. Melbourne City 0, Alamein FC 2. as we look to get this second half underway here at Casey Fields, this round 3 catch-up fixture between Melbourne City FC and Alamein FC has the away team, the visitors, Alamein FC, 2-0 up at half-time through a 36-minute goal by Horton and a 38-minute goal from Emma Runnels. There have been no substitutions at halftime for either teams, and Alamein will look to have this second half kick-off. Alamein in their red kits and Melbourne City in their light blue home kits. This ball gets underway here. Lamage taking possession for Melbourne City. Kirkby driving forward inside to Isabella Racco. Racco sees the run of Jugovic. She's got Cowan to beat. She does beat her. Jugovic, can she put it away? Capitano on the follow-up. Mirandula, ball bouncing. Clearance by Alamein. A bright start from Melbourne City with a great through ball. And Jugovic just glancing around Cowan, but can't quite put it in the back of the net. The retreating Alamein players doing well to keep this 2-0 scoreline to their advantage. Jugovic turns out she's got 2 players for company, and a foul has been called. This time it's in firing distance for Melbourne City. They'll look to set piece up. Chelsea Biggs over the ball. She also has Mirandula. Biggs over the ball. Front post. Cowan did have to make a save for it, but she was able to cover the front post well, and it will go out for an Alamein goal kick. Leokopoulos forward, cut out by Racco. Dustin to clear for Alamein. She was able to get her body in front of Kirkby in that instance, but you can really sense this Melbourne City side has come out of the change rooms with a little bit of vigour, a bit of energy and tenacity about them. Alamein maybe just come out of the sheds with a little bit of complacency. They're able to hold this clean sheet, though, against this young side. Great turn by Biggs, trying to get the ball forward to Capitano. Just Dustin clipping Jugovic there, but Melbourne City trying to keep possession. Bugias for Alamein, switches out to Lasky. Lamage takes a touch, but it's to the advantage of the Alamein striker, and with a great save by Gore Birchmore, and it will be turned back for a penalty on Lamage. He allowed the play to continue and have a strike on goal with no goal ensuing. It's been called back for a penalty. Lamage just taking a touch and allowing Alamein to swoop in, and Lasky getting a touch before Lamage and then entering the box. Just couldn't quite keep her footing. Gore Birchmore in goals for Melbourne City. Junior Matilda, formerly of South Melbourne. Dustin over the ball for Alamein. Has been at Alamein for over a year now. She's originally from America. Dustin to take. She smashes it home with an absolute dynamo powerhouse kick. Gore Birchmore able to read where the penalty was going, but the sheer ferocity at which it was taken has the visitors 3, Melbourne City 0. Biggs forward into Jugovic. Jugovic switches out. Kirkby can't quite get there ahead of Shilton. Shilton once again just hobbling. Shilton with the long throw. Saris to clear. Runnels. The clip from Horton. The turn from Anastasopoulos. Anastasopoulos, bottom corner. What composure by the winger for Alamein. She was able to use the pressure at her back to turn inside and just glide into the penalty area, and she shaped up Gore Birchmore and just slotted it home into the bottom right-hand corner for their 4th of the night. 4 different goal scorers here for Alamein this evening at KLC Fields. It's Melbourne City 0, Alamein FC 4. It was Melbourne City that started off the brighter of the two teams in this second half, but Alamein took that as a wake-up call, and they have risen to the occasion here as Horton drives into the box, picked up by Gore Birchmore. Gore Birchmore out to Duho. Duho forward to Mirandala. Capitanio keeping possession. Strong work there by Capitanio, but she gives it away. And referee will call it back because she was being manhandled in that challenge. She was able to keep possession, but due to the pressure and the foul, she gave up possession, so it was called back. Alamein to clear through Shadara. Tyson this time for Alamein. It'll go back to Lamage. Gore Birchmore will pick it up. She plays forward to Racco. Racco out to Kirkby. Tackled by Shilton. She'll round the assistant referee, Kirkby. Looking for some teammates in Biggs. Biggs with the strike at the back post. Can't quite get it on target. Chelsea Biggs driving into the penalty area there. Just unable to put it on target. She was under pressure. Forward pass from Shadara. Saris. Ball bouncing. Another clip from Saris. Makes it hard for Alamein. Duho for Melbourne City. Racco into Jugovic. Jugovic. Slide tackle from Shadara. Doesn't win it, but it gives enough pressure so Bagias can go forward. The forward run by Lamage. Gore Birchmore can pick it up for Melbourne City. Saris trying to play Kirkby. Shilton reads the play well for Alamein. Alamein all the way back to Bugias. She'll go back to Shadara. Nice tidy work from Shadara to get the ball to Tyson through the midfield. Goal scorer Anastasopoulos picking it up for Alamein. Coming together of two players on that left wing, but Biggs will travel forward. Capitanio, she's got Biggs to her left. Capitanio gives chase, but Loikopoulos for Alamein will clear the danger. Horton, once again, will use her pace. She's got Runnels in the centre. She's got Lasky also out on the left. She'll give the ball, the clip from Loss. Gore Birchmore tries to keep it in play, but unable to. It'll be an Alamein corner, their first of this second half. Alamein, Gore Birchmore with the punch. Tyson with the clearance. Dustin can't quite keep it in. Shilton out to Leokopoulos. Leokopoulos switches out to Shadara. Wall won by Biggs. Cleared by Leokopoulos. Racco touches inside. Tries to get to Capitanio, but they'll give chase here, Melbourne City. Put some pressure on Alamein. Leokopoulos. Dustin. Out to Shilton. Lasky holding it up for Alamein. She's surrounded by players. She's one possession back for her team. Lamage. Lasky. Just the pace. Beating Lamage once again. The ball at the back post. Anastasopoulos couldn't quite get a foot to it. She'll give chase to keep it in though. Anastasopoulos. She turns inside to Horton. This is Tyson. Tyson with the ball into the box. Lamage will clear. Still hasn't quite gone out. But it'll be a corner ball for Alamein. Pace of Summer Lasky, too hot for handle. She was playing in Wellington last season. She's been a great ball in by Tyson. Touched by Gore Birchmore. What a wonderful save by the youngster. Cleared by Biggs for Melbourne City. Capitanio. She only has one to beat if she can manage it. Tackle by Tyson. Saris. Gore Birchmore. Racco to Biggs. Biggs looking for an option. Racco. Kirkby into Racco. Melbourne City trying to keep possession, trying to move forward, trying to engage this Alamein defence. Try and create options moving forward. Racco unable to find the forward run by Kirkby, but she had time and space. She could drive a little bit further there and try and engage another Alamein defender. before unleashing Kirkby. Horton driving into the box. She's got Runnels. Runnels in front position. This time, Gore Birchmore able to cut out the cross. Capitanio. Back to Jugovic. Jugovic forward run by Racco. Ball bouncing, cut out by Tyson. Racco has Kirkby to her right-hand side. She tries to thread it through to Capitanio. Marge. Lasky gets past Lamage. Saris trying to delay, trying to get her teammates back. Biggs giving the cover on the inside. She's picked up possession for Melbourne City. Capitanio will be offside here for Melbourne City. Substitutions for Melbourne City. Ella Kirkby, Liliana Lamage, Ella Duho are off with Heidi Dry. Ella Hamilton and Gia Kapsamalas on. Alamein have Tyson off and Tom's Wedge on. Estelle Bogiers off and Anais Josefsky on. And then two more substitutions will be made with Emma Runnels on for Priya Archdeacon. And Horton off for Harriet Lowry. With the score here, Melbourne City 0, Alamein FC 4. Coach John Kirjos goes to his bench and makes a plethora of substitutions. And the same for George Giroux, trying to get some more minutes into some of his players. Kapsamalis on the ball as we speak, one of those substitutes. Cecilia Loss has gone into that right back position. With Ella Hamilton going into centre back. Heidi Dry out on the left-hand side. Kapsamalis into Capitanio. Forward ball. Unlucky touch by Kapsamalis there. Just puts it back into Shilton's path. Shilton driving forward for Alamein. She gets it to Lasky. Lasky into Archdeacon. Out to Lowry. Lowry swings it out to Josefsky. Back into Archdeacon. Alamein moving the ball well. These substitutes just reinvigorating the team with a little bit of energy. 2 goals either half for this Alamein squad. They'll be looking to continue this dominance. Shilton forward to Archdeacon. Archdeacon turns. Saris picks it up. Goes all the way back to Gore Birchmore. Poor pass into Archdeacon there, but Saris able to clear. Loss into Capitano. Forward run by Capsamalis. If nothing else, Melbourne City will look to push out, close the space for this Alamein squad. Ball bouncing to the advantage of Archdeacon, but Cecilia Loss able to read the possession well and cover her teammates. Capitano can't quite pick it up. Shilton reads it well for Alamein. Dustin, cut out by Racco. Forward to Capitano. Capitano on the outside of the foot goes to Capsamalis. Capsamalis inside the box. Drives low and hard, but straight at Cowan in goals. Lowry couldn't maintain it for Alamein, so it'll be a Melbourne City throw. Hardy Dry to take. Dry forward. Cleared by Lowry. Archdeacon. Biggs picks it up for Melbourne City. Racco. 2v1, but there's a player down on the right-hand side for Alamein. Capsamalis for Melbourne City. She's still down. Looks to be Shilton. Unsure as it was in back play when she went down. It's made. Emptied the bench here. They do have one more substitution that they could make. Mary Brown still on the bench for Melbourne City and also for Alamein. They still have Matilda Lowry and also goalkeeper Kate Bean. Melbourne City, on the other hand, have Eva Chopin or Mary Brown to look to inject some energy. But we'll look to see if Shilton can continue to play here. It's not a head knock. Unsure why they're not continuing play here. Still no substitution yet for Alamein. She's on her feet now, Shilton. Hopefully she's okay. She did have a stint on the bench most recently with an injury. She's taking a moment to get her breath here. Shilton. It'll be a corner ball for Melbourne City. Chelsea Biggs to take. Biggs can't quite get the curve on it to keep it in play, and Shilton will re-enter the pitch. Leokopoulos. Shilton. Well closed down by Kapsamalis. CC loss with the clearance for Melbourne City. Anastasopoulos finds Archdeacon. Archdeacon does have time. She'll get it to Lasky. Forward run by Archdeacon. Lasky drives inside. Cleared by Biggs, but it falls back to Archdeacon. Another fortunate bounce for Melbourne City this time. And the clearance from Chelsea Biggs will be deemed a corner for Alamein. Dustin in swinger. Back post cleared by Capitanio. Lowry on the volley. Struck it sweetly, but just glancing past that far post. Alamein calls for the high press. Saris into Jugovic. She can turn. She'll need to find another pass. She's not tightly marked, but she can get it all the way. Hamilton into Racco from Biggs. Biggs tries to jump over that pass, but Jugovic. Biggs to Saris. Capitanio. Back to Saris. Need to change the point here for Melbourne City. Racco back to Biggs. Biggs on the switch. Gets it to Marundala. Marundala forward. She's got Lowry to beat. She cuts inside, but Lowry able to recover well and win herself a goal kick for Alamein. Melbourne City will look to go to the bench once again. Mary Brown will enter the field for Maya Capitanio. Straight swap here. Cecilia lost there. Just starting to cramp up. Loss. They've emptied the bench now for Melbourne City. Dry picking it up for the home team. Jugovic will go back to Saris. Into Biggs. On the switch. Forward run by Kapsamalis. Cowan clears. Loss. Maintains possession through Hamilton. Hamilton into Brown. Biggs. Brown trying to work together, but Lasky will come away with it for Alamein. Anastasopoulos onside. Loss. Can't quite keep it in. Loss will have to go down here with cramp. Unable to continue. We'll go to Eva Chopin. Last substitute on the bench for Melbourne City. Long throw from Shilton. Touched by Lasky, gets it to Archdeacon. The ricochet is at the top of the box, landing at Alamein's feet once again. Shilton holding it up. Does well to keep possession for Alamein. Shilton. Melbourne sitting, doing all that they can. Biggs still down for Melbourne City. Mary Brown. Shopping. Forward to Jugovic. They've lost the chance to kick it out now. Melbourne City as Biggs stays down. Biggs just down in back play. Free kick for Melbourne City. Or a throw. Kapsamalis. She has Shilton for company. And it'll be a corner ball for Melbourne City. Brown to take. Brown delivers. Biggs on the volley. Lowry. Heidi Dry with the throw. Can't quite get it to Brown. It'll clear from Shadara. Melbourne City will regain possession here through Saris. Into Brown. Brown evading two tackles, getting it out to Chopin. Chopin out to Kapsamaris. Hamilton. To Saris. Saris with the long ball to Kapsamaris. Chopin. Gives chase. Anastasiopoulos putting enough pressure on. Alamein will go to their bench for the last substitution of field players for them. That'll have to wait as they go forward to Lasky. Lasky turns, goes forward. Forward run by Heidi Dry. That is unable. It's a pass back, but it is going towards goal. So Gore Birchmore did make the save, but it's going to be a indirect free kick. Indirect free kick for Alamein. It's a tough one for Gore Birchmore as the ball is travelling towards goal. And unsure if Heidi Dry meant to shoot as a back pass. But it will be an indirect free kick. So indirect free kick means that Alamein need to touch it twice before it goes into the back of the net. Cleared by Melbourne City. And in the process, cramp for Chelsea Biggs. Desperate measures from the Melbourne City captain. No treatment allowed. He'll call on the trainer now. But as Melbourne City have evacuated the bench, there'll be not a lot they can do for Chelsea Biggs at this moment. So the substitution will be made for Matilda Lowry to come onto the pitch for Alamein, and Summer Lasky will exit. Possibly unfortunate not to be on the score sheet tonight, Summer Lasky. Hard worker for Alamein. Those goals go to Horton, Runnels, Anastasopoulos and Neve Dustin with the penalty for Alamein. Score Melbourne City 0, Alamein 4. Melbourne City, a man down currently. They'll clear. Forward pass to Josefsky. Ball into the box. Gore Birchmore able to collect. She'll come out through Jugovic. Jugovic can chase. Archdeacon for Alamein. Putting a lot of pressure on this Melbourne City player. Scholarship holder with the ALW team, Melbourne City. Racco all the way back to Hamilton. Second half substitute, and Hamilton goes back to Gore Birchmore. Gore Birchmore and Hamilton. Jugovic can turn. Gets it to Brown. Marandula forward. Marandula has time and space. She'll get the ball into the box, but straight at the Alamein goalkeeper, Cowan. As Chelsea Biggs re-enters the pitch. This evening's captain for Melbourne City. Josefsky for Alamein. Into Archdeacon. Gives the return pass to Josefsky. The pace on Anais Josefsky is well known in the Senol NPLW. And Anastasopoulos couldn't quite get enough of a header onto that one. Unlike Emma Runnels in the first half, she was able to blast it home from close range. Saris driving forward. Brown back to Saris. She'll go forward to Marandula. Marandula still trying her best to give this Melbourne City a lifeline. Get on the score sheet. They've been well in this battle all night as Chelsea Biggs goes from long range, can't trouble Cowan. Melbourne City have been in this battle largely for a majority of the evening, but just in those moments Alamein were able to capitalise and put the ball at the back of the net, whereas Melbourne City weren't able to capitalise on their chances. Not even able to draw a save from Cowan. Leokopoulos goes long. Ball falls to Archdeacon. Finds the run of Lowry. Lowry well tackled by Chopin. And it'll be an Alamein corner.
Well done, Priya, well done, Tilly.
Matilda Lowry that time.
Anna, get in there, Anna, get in.
Well tackled by Chopin.
Anna, big in there.
Dustin. In swinger. Ball bouncing. Misjudged by Chopin, but it will go out for a goal kick.
Set up high, do not drop off. Set up high, focus.
Chopin drags down Lowry. Matilda Lowry. After the long weekend of the Easter, a lot of players going down with cramp.
Cramping. Wait, now. Are you okay, Jess? No more subs, Jess.
Unfortunately for Jess Shilton, there are no subs for Alamein. Dustin goes for goal. Kira Saris to drive forward for Melbourne City into Biggs. Mirandala, well won by Josefsky. Ricochets inside. Heidi Dry. Jugovic back to Hamilton. Hamilton into Racco. Hamilton. Gore Birchmore can switch it out to the other side. She'll go out to Dry. Lowry, this time Harriet on the right-hand side for Alamein. Gives it out to Jaszewski. Gore Birchmore rolls it into Biggs. Chelsea Biggs tries to get the ball to Kapsamalis. Lowry. Hamilton. Just a handball for Hamilton. Be a free kick for Alamein. In shooting distance once again for Dustin.
Set up again, Nev. Set up, ladies. Talk to them.
Gore Birchmore drives forward to Jugovic. Cowan clears for Alamein. Racco out to Chopin. Chopin forward. Slide tackle by Leokopoulos. Chopin again on the ball for Melbourne City. Kapsamalis gets it back out to Chopin. She can deliver. Touch by Marundala. Biggs this time giving chase. Josefsi tries to play inside to Harriet Lowry. Cowan makes the save low and to her right, and it will be a Melbourne City corner. 2 minutes of injury time added for this second half. Front post header by Jugovic, unable to cause any damage to this scoreline. Priya Archdeacon battling it out with her opposite number in Marundala. Lowry doing well to get the ball forward. Jugovic just pushed off the ball by Tom's wedge. Biggs looking to play quickly. Melbourne City pick it up through Chopin. Over Chopin. Kapsamalis, long ball forward. Lowry with Dre hot on her heels, plays it out for an Alamein corner. Throw in. And that's full time here at Casey Fields. Largely contested match, very deep in the battle of each halves, but then just a couple of minutes either side of the half for Alamein was enough to get the job done, with goals in the 36th minute from Horton and the 38th minute from Emma Runnels, backed up by 2 goals in the 50th minute, one by Neve Dustin from the penalty spot, and then in the 81st minute through Anastasiopoulos. It is Melbourne City 0, Alamein 4.